Thanks, Tegan. This month, Victoria Police is cracking down on speeding drivers. Operation Nickel was launched yesterday with a road safety message to drivers and riders that speed kills. Here in the GV, we're not immune to road accidents. Tracy Alexander looks at some of the local trends and the long-lasting impacts on those involved in road accidents.
We've had a terrible year last year. We had 13 local people die on our roads, which are at a bit of a loss to explain. It's brought about an increase in police presence over the last 6 months from the State Task Force in Melbourne.
Shepparton is located with the intersection of 3 major highways, so there's a lot of high-speed traffic as well as a lot of big vehicles coming through. So we commonly see a lot of road trauma, a lot of which is preventable.
Tragedies on our roads are climbing at a heartbreaking rate, with the number of injuries in the Shepparton PSA already at 163 this year, compared to 156 at the same time in 2012. And through the month of October, it's all the more important we're vigilant while driving, with more motorbikes, bicycles and pedestrians on the roads.
I think we're all coming out of our shells after being wrapped up in a cocoon during winter, and with the glorious sunny days, people come out and forget a little bit about their concentration whilst driving.
The thing with motorbikes and bicycles in particular is you have no protection. So if you come off your bike, you're going to end up with an injury. So if you're riding a bicycle, for example, you need to wear a helmet. If you're riding a motorbike, you need to wear the full gear. That's helmet, gloves, and leather equipment to protect yourself. Because if you slide off a motorbike, you can just what we call deglove or just destroy the skin on your body.
Victoria Police are no longer calling traffic crashes accidents, with the majority of serious collisions having a causal factor that was avoidable. And it's our emergency services that see firsthand the devastating effects on those involved in road incidents.
We get a patient comes in packaged up, and it's actually the paramedics and the police that see the most gruesome things. But you can ranging from open fractures, so bones sticking out of the leg, bones sticking out of your face, parts of limbs missing, big bruising on the head showing that they've got a severe head injury. So it's quite gruesome, and it affects us all, but it's quite devastating when you see it in a young child. It's quite devastating to see a child come in lifeless, and we're spending our time trying to resuscitate this child, usually, hopefully with the result, but usually unfortunately ends in death.
And the effects extend beyond those directly involved.
It's quite devastating for the staff, especially in emergency department and intensive care, when you have to relay the news that their loved one may not be able to walk again, may not be able to use their arms, or may end up with some permanent disability. And the sadness and the shock you see on that family's face is it's devastating.
The State Highway Patrol will focus on all parts of the road network, including drivers ignoring work speed zones.
There's a high degree of risk, not so much for the drivers, but for the people working on the roads. And what we're finding is a trend of motorists ignoring these signs. So we're going to make a point of being in these roadwork areas with the appropriate speed measuring devices.
85 lives could be saved and 1,300 serious injuries prevented in 1 year if Victorians reduce their average speed by just 5 kilometres an hour. It's this fact that's prompted Operation Nickel.
Look, this year, from January to now, we've lost 4 people on our roads. It shouldn't be happening. We've had head-on collisions. We've had people going through intersections. Things that shouldn't happen here. They are nice roads. We can't blame the roads for the crashes. It's the loose nut behind the wheel, if I can use that expression.